You ever seen this photo? It's called the Calvine UFO Photo. And apparently, it shows a UFO here being chased by a fighter jet, right? What if I zoom out? What do you see now? Right? You can see a fence post underneath there at the bottom. You see some trees there at the top, right? Some people think that's a rowboat, not a plane. And potentially that UFO is actually just a rock protruding out of the water. You see, that's reflection of the clouds in the sky in the water, not the actual sky. So, I don't know. What do you think? It's kind of interesting, right? This photo. You see, this photo just got released a couple years ago. Before that, it was just a photocopy that didn't look very good. And now there's an entire story that's coming out about who took this photo and what happened in the days after, and how many photos in total they have of this event. So in James Fox's new documentary, he's going to cover this, or I guess I should say uncover the truth about this photo, which he claims will have you believing this is a UFO. So let's dive in and see what this is all about, y'all. If you're new to the channel and you like content like this, please hit that subscribe button. I put out a new video every day, 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. I do not miss a day, y'all. And please hit that like button, vetters. That really helps out the videos. So thank y'all so much for the support there. And of course, comment down below. What do you think about this photo right here? The Calvine UFO photo. Let's go, y'all. All right. So how did I get to this point, right? Well, James Fox released a new clip from his new documentary coming up called The Program. I've covered it many times on this channel, right? I've also got an update of when it's going to come out, okay? And he shared a clip, but it was in the comments of this tweet where I saw some more information, right? And he's kind of been teasing it all along. So let's watch the clip from The Program, right? It's nothing too crazy, right? So it's not any new information, as some of you say, but it'll be interesting to see. Let's watch it, right? It's good. Support James here. So here's a tweet. He says, we'll be handing the film, The Program, over on Monday for sound design and color correction. Film the screen to share a small segment towards the end. Thanks for all your continued support, right? Let's watch it, and then we'll get to the comments down below.
Today, we stand at a pivotal moment in history. The question before us is not just about unidentified anomalous phenomena, but about the very principles of transparency, accountability, and trust between the government and the people it serves.
Some of these crash retrieval programs and maybe
get the appropriate accesses
for whistleblowers and for the protection of whistleblowers.
There remains an ongoing official public effort to investigate what is really known about UAP.
And to say,
all right, so there you go, right? Very cool. You know, B-roll, nice narration. Honestly, I can't wait to see this, right? But it's down below where you realize that this documentary is going to be about more than government programs. Because James states right here, someone asked him, can you tease if there will be any new videos or pics of UAPs? James responds, featuring an entire segment on the best pic in history. Yes, and many more, right? So someone writes, if it's Calvine, then I hope you have some new info. The topic has been pretty well covered elsewhere. Still can't wait to watch, though. And many people ask if it was Calvine. And I think it is, right? Because if we go back to a tweet from James in June 7, 2024, and hang on, before I get to that, let me get to some information here real quick, because he answers when this is going to come out right here. Give us a release date. He says, couple months. We'll need to strategize exact date as the elections could interfere. So there you go, folks. Right? Don't know when exactly this is coming out, but in a couple months, right? All right, so let's go to this other tweet. Again, this is from June 7, 2024. Wow. Two British friends took this UFO picture, then vanished after a visit from sinister men in dark suits. Breaking his silence after 34 years, their old colleague now reveals what happened and says they were not meant to see it. Right? And this guy right here, that's when he was younger, is claiming to know the two individuals who took this Calvine UFO photo. Right? And he's coming out for the first time, and he came out in this Daily Mail article, right? And James puts out a tweet about it. Well, then if we go down here, spoke to Richard, witness to some of the events today, double wow, right? So this guy right here, that's Richard, right? So look at this. Oh, if I had $1 for every time I've heard about these men in dark suits, well, you know the rest. They're real. Okay. Love it, James. Let's go, baby. This person writes, still looks like a rock and reflection to me. Looking forward to the new documentary, though. James says, I promise you will not believe that once you see the new film. Right? Okay. So now let's look at some information here. Let's look at this Daily Mail article right here. It says, two British friends took this UFO picture, then vanished after a visit from sinister men in dark suits, right? Oh, okay. So he just basically put the title there. Their old colleague now reveals what happened and says they were not meant to see it. So basically, I read the article written by Dr. David Clark. Remember that name. Right, this picture right here, the Calvine UFO photo. Basically, this guy right here, he's basically saying that he worked with the two individuals who took this photo. They were all chefs at this hotel, and he can't remember their names, though. Right, and he can't remember many details about them at all, but he definitely remembers their story. Just giving you the facts in this article, right, from this guy. Which this guy's only 55. Jesus. This is what being a chef does to y'all. It ages you. I mean, he's got a cane and everything. Like, my God, I'm almost 45. I'm 44 right now. This is not far off. My God, is this me? Anyway, he basically says that, these guys came back and, we're going to go give the negatives and talk about it, and they got approached by some men in suits, right? And one of the main things of this article that they come across is that these two gentlemen, again, this guy can't remember their names, these two chefs who took that Calvine UFO photo, right? They said something about, the Americans. It's for the Americans. It's with the Americans, right? That's the idea. Basically bringing the Americans into this, right? Here it says right here. Whatever it was they knew, they were not meant to see it. They never really talked about it, but one of them said it was the Americans. So apparently after the incident, right, of this photo and everything, these two guys, after they were approached by men in suits, one of them became, an alcoholic, lost his job, got sacked from the hotel. The other one sort of disappeared, became weird. They all just basically started acting weird, right? And it was never the same. They left. This guy's never heard or seen from them since. Again, can't even remember their names, right? But as you go through more of this article, you realize that and this is the guy at a young age, apparently during that time when he worked, right? But right here, it says, it's like they vanished off the face of the earth, says Richard Grieve, who recalls working alongside the two chefs in the kitchens at Fisher's Hotel. I don't know how to say that word. Pitlochry? I don't know. In the summer of 1990. Although he can't remember the exact names of his colleagues, the name Kevin Russell is written on the back of the black and white print that Craig Lindsay managed to keep hold of. So who's Craig Lindsay? Well, apparently the author of this, the writer of this article, tracked down this guy, Craig Lindsay, who held the negative. He held it on his bookshelf of that Calvine UFO photo that everyone's seeing right now that I've shown, right? He had it on his bookshelf for like over 30 years. And he worked for the government, and he was just waiting. He saved one. And he said there's 6 total. And he saved one, and he said he was waiting for someone to come and ask him more about it. So this author did. He get the photo. They published it 2022, and everyone's been talking about this Calvine UFO photo, right? And now James Fox is going to put it in his documentary, right? And you can see this picture right here. Let's see if I can go on this further. Yeah, here we go. So this picture right here is the one that was originally in the files, right? You can see it's just a photocopy, right, of the original picture. So that's all that was originally around, was a photocopy. So, but now we have a much clearer picture, right? So, it's interesting, okay? All of this in this picture. But look, the fact, and this article is interesting, okay? I'm going to put a link to it. Go check it out. There's a lot to it. Okay, there's a lot. They think it could be, a particular type of military craft. There's all kinds of things, right, that people are saying this could be, but definitely something not of this earth is one of them, right? And apparently, according to James Fox, you're going to think it's more than, you know what I mean, just a reflection in a rock. So I don't know. Now, the guy that wrote that Daily Mail article, his name is Dr. David Clark. All right. And here he is. Okay. He's an associate professor in the Department of Media and Arts and Communications at Sheffield Hallam University, UK. Okay. And this is interesting, right? So he's been looking into this. He's the one that got this photo out. And I emailed. I reached out to see if I can get him on the show and we can talk more about the Calvine UFO photo. I think he's probably featured in James Fox's documentary, as well as that witness, right? This guy. What's his name? This guy. Right. There's no question. For sure. And look, I'm going to put a link to this as well. This is more information about these photos. Apparently there was an analysis done too, a report, all kinds of things. So check it out. You can dive further into this photo. But that's where we're at in the fork in the road right now with this photo, right? We have this great photo, but now there's a story behind it that they're trying to uncover. So I think just looking at the photo and trying to figure out doesn't really do justice if you know, right, the chain of where the photo come from, the story and the witnesses that are coming forward. I think, considering all that context is super important. Even though I got to be honest, when I do look at that photo and it's like reflection in a robot, I'm like, yeah, that does look just like that. Right. But again, when you hear the full story, it's like, because it's not definitive. It is interesting. And could this be the best UFO photo in history? Right? Could this be, and the story behind it? Right? It is fascinating. So, look, again, links in the description. Go check it all out for yourself. See what you think. This is what we're going to end on. This is going to be Nick Pope, who also was a part of making this photo and this story aware. You're making, the public aware of this story before that photo came out, right? So Nick Pope was talking about the Calvine photo before anybody. And in fact, he said they used to have a big blow up of it in their office at the MOD, right, when he was looking into UFOs. And one day he came in and it was gone. And he asked about it. And they just told him they took it down. I can't remember they just took it down. No explanation. Why take that photo down? Why wasn't he allowed to have that up? Because potentially it showed a real UFO or advanced technology. All right, you can't just have a photo of that up. So, and a lot of the original reports, analysis, things like that were mysteriously like destroyed of the Calvine, right? Because Nick Pope and his predecessor looked into the Calvine. So this event, there were people that came forward that took these pictures, right? There is something there. There was an event that happened. The question is, what's in that picture? Because apparently where that picture is taken is a very remote part in Scotland. Okay. Again, just very interesting. So let's go out with Nick Pope talking to us about the Calvine UFO photo here.
Nick Pope. I used to work for the British government. I worked for them for 21 years at the Ministry of Defence. And for much of the early 90s, I was responsible for researching and investigating the UFO mystery. I'm here at this conference to talk about one of the most interesting cases in the British government's UFO files, the Calvine incident. This was a case
Calvine.
where two hikers were out walking in Scotland and they saw a large diamond-shaped craft hovering a short distance above the ground. And they took some photographs, and then this object shot off to the horizon at incredible speed. Now, they contacted a national newspaper, and the journalist took the photos and was writing up a story. But then things got very interesting, and effectively the whole story was killed. The photos disappeared. The hikers who had seen this object and taken the photographs never spoke out again and have never been traced. And for many years, there was a blown up copy, poster-sized copy of the best photo.
Real quick. That's the story I just told you, but real quick. So again, Kevin Russell is a name they think potentially is one of those two missing people, right? Kevin Russell. And that guy, David Clark, that I told you about, he has looked into this guy. They can't find him. And they're not entirely sure if that name was made up on the back, if it was written on the back. So that's their biggest lead of those two people, Kevin Russell from Scotland, right? I think that witness guy, couldn't he be like Kevin Russell? Would he be like, yeah, his name is Kevin? I mean, you would remember then at that point, if so, maybe you can't remember the name, but if someone told you the name, you'd be like, oh yeah, that's it. Right? No, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. So whatever. Let's get back to this.
On copy, poster-sized copy of the best photo on my office wall, on the office wall of the UFO project in the Ministry of Defence. And then when the Freedom of Information Act came in, one of the things that people were expecting and looking forward to was, well, we're going to see this photo that everyone's been talking about. And they didn't. It disappeared. And the Ministry of Defence said, we have no record of this photograph. What survived was a poor quality photocopy of a line drawing, a tiny little black and white thing. What was missing was the huge, full-size, color, spectacular image, the best UFO photograph ever taken. And the only UFO photograph ever taken that has survived a proper scientific analysis that declared this was a genuine image. There was no trickery. This was a real object, and it was big, and we in the Ministry of Defence did not know what this was.
If you want to have body mastery, I can almost guarantee you you're wasting thousands of dollars.
Well, there's an ad. Okay. Ended perfectly. All right, look, I'm going to put a link in the description. Go check it out for yourself. It's a 15-minute interview, clip, video clip or whatever. You know, the Calvine Photo is, I've been pronouncing it wrong this whole time, is quite fascinating. And I can't wait to see James Fox's new documentary. He's going to dive in. He's going to bring it all together and present the information perfectly. And I can't wait to see it. So I'm excited to find out about that photo. I mean, it is, what is a better UFO photo, right? And the fact that there's like even, well, is that a reflection? I mean, that also adds this mystery to it. Could it be something so simple? Would they'd be able to fool so many people with this photo? Is it just a matter of seeing what you think? You know what I mean? Or is it a UFO? Let me know in the comments, y'all. All right. We'll see you guys on tomorrow's video. Remember, every day's a gift, y'all.